Hello, Dr. Bell.
Hello.
Welcome to Effie's Cozy Corner. So,
Thank you.
how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, we want to know, who is Dr. Bell?
Dr. Bell is the sixth child of Christian and Vivian Bell,
Okay.
sixth and last child. I'm a Regentonian, attended grammar school,
Oh, that's lovely.
and later I decided to study medicine. I'm a qualified medical practitioner, a gynecologist, specialist gynecologist, but now I'm retired
Okay.
after practicing medicine for almost over 45 years.
Wow. Okay, talking about you decided to study medicine. So, was it your own decision, or because I know most of the time in Sierra Leone, in a typical home, your parents would be like, okay, take up this career. Was it your decision?
It was my decision.
It was your decision.
Because at that time, people were falling ill, and I had that passion just to help people get well again. I decided to, okay, I'll study medicine.
Okay, can you tell me about any challenge you encountered whilst you were doing the
Yes,
medicine?
well, actually, I studied in Germany,
Okay,
and the very first challenge was the language.
can you imagine?
Yes, I had to study the German language. But after that, I didn't have much problems because I was in Heidelberg. I studied in Heidelberg, University of Heidelberg,
Okay,
and we were interacting with the German students. And so after a short while, there was no problem at all with the language.
it helped.
Yes, yes. So I went through every stage of my studies, and I enjoyed it. And I even had a Division 1 in my finals.
Whoa, congratulations to you on that. So apart from that, was there any other outstanding achievement?
I decided to specialize in obstetrics and gynecology.
Okay,
And
wow.
then I came back home because of the love I had for this nation, and the love I still have for this nation. I decided to come back home with my family. Had an appointment with the Ministry of Health, with the government. But unfortunately, after 3 years, I decided to resign and set up a private. I did this, and fortunately for me, I was also able to build a private hospital in Brookfields in the process. This I started with my personal funds. But then when I ran out of funds, I had to go to the bank. At that time, it was the NDB, the National Development Bank, and I got 3 sets of loans. The first one I paid 20%, and the second I paid 40%, and the third I paid 55% interest on the loan.
That's a lot.
Yes. And so when I started working, it was all just to pay staff, buy materials, and pay the bank. But fortunately, I was able to pay off the debt. In that hospital, we did all sorts of operations, and I can fully remember one of my greatest achievements in that hospital was an operation on a 29-year-old lady who had a fibroid. She came to me and thought she was pregnant because of the size of this fibroid. So I examined her, did the ultrasound, and I said, sorry, you're not pregnant. This is fibroid, So eventually I had to do the operation, and it took me about over 5 hours standing doing one operation together with a colleague. And the fibroid, when we got it out, so I don't have a picture of it right now, it weighed 7.5 kilo.
No wonder she thought it was pregnant.
7.5 kilo, a 29-year-old lady. And she survived. She went through the post-operative phase was uneventful, and she went through everything beautifully. That was one of my greatest achievements. I also had triplets, in the hospital, and after a while, I decided, I think it was at the age of 75, yes, thereabout, I decided to retire. on
Okay.
medicine.
Okay. Looking at your bio, I saw something. I was like, okay, how do we balance this off? I saw something about Love One Another's campaign, the
Yes.
Agape. I'm like, how did you get to that?
This
Because
is,
it's
this is
entirely different from what you
yes,
studied.
it's very interesting because
Okay.
I, during my active service
Okay.
as a doctor, I used to travel a lot, to South Africa, to Europe, to the Philippines, to Hawaii. I was interested in evangelism,
Okay.
evangelism in the hospital because there's a slogan which says, more people pass through the hospital than through the churches.
Oh,
It's a fact.
okay.
Yes, and so it's an area where you could actually share the gospel. So I was very much interested in that. So I was in Holland participating in a seminar, and then the coup happened here in Sierra Leone in 1997, and I couldn't come back. So, being a German graduate, I went over to Germany, and I continued praying for my nation because I had that burden. Fortunately for me, it was like a miracle because I'd left Germany 18 years before I went back. 18 years, and when I went back, just a telephone call, I got a job
Oh,
in the same hospital where I did my
your
specialist
practice. Okay.
training. He said, Dr. Bell, are you back? I said, yes, I'm here. I cannot go back home because there's war in my country. I'm stranded. Oh, Dr. Bell, come, we have a job for you. Although I was a tourist,
Okay.
because I had to get the permit, work permits, professional permits, residential permits, but because they needed me,
They did everything.
did everything. I got all the permits, and so I had a job as a junior consultant, right? And it was challenging initially because I'd left, as I said, 18 years. The language, the system, but I'm telling you, within 2 weeks on the outside, I was there as if I'd never left.
Oh,
And people were really, they were amazed. They said, what? So I was later elevated to a higher position, and I was earning, very good, very well, and I had all the facilities. And because of the war, my wife who was in Freetown, left for Banjul. We left for Banjul, together with our two sons who were at that time at Comas. Yes. Our daughter, Nelly, she was in England. She just done her A-levels.
okay.
Right? All three of them wanted to study medicine.
Oh, okay.
So I was there in Germany. I was working. I had this good job. And it was during this period, because I was earning enough, the German government allowed me to take the three of them,
Okay, your kids.
the kids, to Germany.
Okay.
And I was getting ready, preparing to receive my wife as well,
Okay.
right? Because there was war in Sierra Leone. There was no way coming back so soon. This was the situation I found myself when one day I was reading a book and I got to a page and the author said, choose one of three scripture passages. There are three scripture passages. For no reason, I decided to choose the second one, the second passage, which was Ezekiel 3:11, Old Testament. I turned to my Bible, and the first 5 words in that passage were, go now to your countrymen.
Okay.
I said, wow. I said, this is not for me. Go now to your countrymen. I have a good job. My 3 children were there already. My wife was getting ready to join us. Then I continued to read, and he said, Father, take a message, whether they listen or not. But there was no message. So I said, I was happy. I said, no message. But I still continue to pray for this nation, right? For my country. And a week later, I attended service in the Baptist church. And the theme that Sunday was agape. And the pastor spent almost an hour preaching on agape, explaining the meaning of agape. It's a Greek word for love, God's love, right? And by the end of his sermon, towards the end of his sermon, I had a vision in the form of an inscription above his head, which read, Sierra Leoneans, love one another as God loves you. That's it.
That was the vision.
Then I said to myself, well, a week ago, I had instruction, go. Now I've got the message. So I have no alternative but to
Yes,
go.
you were saying there was no message. Now you have the message.
Yes. So that's how, there and then I decided, it's a long story, but I decided to come back, and you wouldn't believe it, most of my friends thought something was wrong with me.
Definitely.
They said, look, my friend, you have a good job. Your 3 children are here. They have not yet even entered medical school. They're in the language school.
Yes.
And my wife was getting ready to join us.
But I think, I'm not going to be the devil's advocate, but I think their opinion was valid at that time. It's very common. When people don't see the vision, what you see,
Yes.
they don't understand anything, especially
Yes.
when you were successful at the moment.
Yes.
So it felt like, what is wrong with you?
Yes,
So
yes,
the
yes.
reaction was in place.
One of my friends even told me, he said, look, my friend, I've known you for such a long time, but I didn't know that you were so reckless. He used the word reckless.
Oh, wow.
I said, why? He said, well, my friend, you have a good job. You are allowed to bring these 3 children into Germany because of your job. And now your wife will be joining you soon. Now you say you're going to a war-torn country. So, something is wrong with you, my friend. He says, reckless. I say, he said, what's going to happen with the children? I said, well, God will take care of them. And indeed, God took care of them.
So what did you do whilst they were laughing? What was the process like?
Well, I just continued. I prayed, of course, and I was determined not to lose my focus. Right? I said, God, this is from you. It's a divine assignment. I am going. So I left the children, came back, told my wife who was in Banjul, I said, you are not going to Germany anymore. I say, you're going back to Freetown. Oh, what you do? I said, well, I have this vision. Okay. What about the children? I said, well, God will take care of them. I said, oh. And indeed, God took care of them. I mean, as we speak, they're all doctors, specialists, consultants, and they went through their studies without any problem at all, and they all, in fact, Nelly is back in town. She's a pediatrician.
Okay.
And Willie, the eldest son, he's an orthopedic surgeon, a consultant orthopedic surgeon, and the other one is a gynecologist. Okay. So I mean,
yes,
God
He
took care of
makes
them.
things beautiful in His time, definitely.
Yeah. So it was for me. It was a divine mission. So I said, look, God, if I'm going on this mission, you will surely take care of the children. And
that was a huge sacrifice.
God didn't disappoint me at all.
So let's talk about the vision in proper. So what is the importance of this agape to national development?
Well, when I came back, a lot of people did not understand. I started with my wife. We had T-shirts on, went around Brookfields, telling people, love one another, And few people came on board, especially some of my Christian friends, came on board. But a lot of people that they're not interested. Some might be laughing at us. Say, look, my friend, you're wasting your time. I said, no, this is very, very important for this nation. We need to love one another. Because we don't love one another, and this is why we find ourselves in this predicament. I said, so we need to love. So after a while, those who are laughing actually started getting more serious about it. And they said, oh yes, there's sense in this campaign, And we are praying, and God gradually gave us more I would say revelation. Yes, that's the word. Revelation as to how we could go about it, you know. And so we decided to launch the campaign officially. So it was officially launched at the British Council on the 16th of December, 1998. Long ago, 27 years ago almost, you know. And so after the launching, we started moving around the city, the country as a whole, you know, telling people to love one another. And then we also had the revelation that you cannot just go out and tell people to love. See, love is an action word. It's not what you say, but it's what you do, you know. So we prayed, and God gave us the funds and provision to set up training centers in the various parts of the country. But before that, as a matter of fact, the very first thing we did that was so important for this country was when we were invited by the DDR Secretariat, that is the Secretariat that was responsible to demobilize and reintegrate the ex-combatants. That's what they used to call them, the rebels, the ex-combatants. Okay. We were invited very early in our mission to assist them in getting the ex-combatants or the rebels out of Mamiyoko Hotel. And they were occupying Mamiyoko Hotel after the war.
Okay.
Yeah. And no one could get them out. The army couldn't get them out, the police couldn't get them out.
Wow.
No one
they were just there.
They were there with their RPG and all the rest.
Lord.
You know, they are at a vantage position, really. Okay. I mean, if you go to you see them in the veranda, you know, with the RPGs. I mean, it's scary.
It's scary, yeah, it is.
So we were approached by this secretary. Said, well, look, you people are talking about love. Go and talk to these people. So I said, okay.
You went there?
Yes.
Lord.
I said, okay. So I got my wife and some people who were already on board, about 10 or so of us, you know, had our T-shirts on, went to the hotel, went to the gate. Of course, it was locked, chained, you know, and we knocked at the gate, and they came out, you know, to the veranda with their RPGs and all.
Who's there?
You know, and hands up. We had our hands up. Who are you? Who that? They said, we come from the Love One Another campaign. Love One Another campaign? Which now answer here? I said, well, we come to talk to you about love. Oh, go talk to the big man first. Oh, they were so stubborn, you know. And I said, no, I want to talk to you people. He said, and apart from you, are there other people behind? I said, no. Because they thought maybe you have police or the army behind you. I said, no. Because we had negotiated with them. So if we are going there, we go alone. So when they came down with their RPGs, you know, pointing at us, hands up, opened the gate, went in, and I said to them, I said, boys, I want to talk to you. But please, lay down those arms.
Oh, you're very bold.
Yes. Well, I would say it was a divine mission. It was God-led. Believe me. In retrospect, at times I say, how did you do
that? Yes.
You know? Yeah, they laid down their hands, and they were ready to listen to us. So I spoke to them. I said, this situation, it cannot be permanent. You need to get out of this place. It cannot be permanent. Right? So we are ready to take you out to your community. No one will attack you, no one will arrest you. I said, are you sure? I said, yes. I said, we have negotiated with them, no one will arrest you. You know? I said, where do you come from? He said, Lompa, by Waterloo.
Okay.
So I said, okay. I said, I'm going to Lompa. I will talk with the chief. So I went to Lompa the next day. They still stayed there, you know. I went to Lompa, and went to the chief. I think his name was Kaba, Chief Kaba. You know, I spoke to him. I said, Chief Kaba, I said, your boys are there at Mamioko. I said, they are from Lompa. So they would like to come back to the village. Oh, no, not at all. No. We don't want
We're not welcome.
You're not welcome. I said, but these are your children. There is a saying in Creole, bad bush not for two, bad picking.
True.
I said, so? Are you ready to receive them? Well, I don't really remember the words I used, you know. But that, after a while, he said, okay. I said, when? They asked us, when are they coming? I said, well, I don't know yet, but let me go and talk to them again. So I left Lompa, came back to Mamioko, spoke with the boys, and they said, well, when are we going and who is going to take us? And are you sure they're not going to arrest us? I said, no, they're not going to arrest you. Okay. So we went out, chartered a vehicle, took them out, and said, but please, your weapons, don't go with you. Put them aside. And that's how we took them out, took them to Lompa, you know, and that's how we freed Mamioko. And after that exercise, the same secretariat invited us to go to Kono, because they're having the same problem in Kono with these ex-combatants, you know. And I went to Kono, and exactly the same thing, areas where these boys were, they wouldn't get out, you know, but we persuaded them, spoke to them. As I said, it was a divine mission. I mean, that was not anything academic, it was divine, you know. And so we got them. I personally visited all the 14 chiefdoms in Kono district. Yes, spoke with all the paramount chiefs, and there are pockets of rebels all over the place, you know, pockets of these ex-combatants, you know.
So how was the movement, like moving to those chiefdom? Was it a smooth one?
No. As a matter of fact, it was a rainy season.
Okay.
It was a very difficult one, very difficult. You know, we had a lot of problems. But you know, as I said, it was a divine mission, so it was not so difficult for us, you know. And so we succeeded in getting them, all of them, around with the UN, and we had a meeting with them, and I spoke with them again, with these boys, you know, and I even suggested that the word ex-combatant should be deleted from our vocabulary. And for a long time, we didn't use that word, ex-combatant, you know, and I spoke to them, and then they accepted and said, now, let's love one another. And that's how we went to Kono, and we stayed there. We engaged 10 of them, 9 boys and 1 girl, and we started teaching them how to make this, we call them Sivaram blocks, you know. We taught them, because we had a trainer, and we taught them how to build a small house. The house is still there. They built that house, and they were so proud, they were so happy that they were able to build a house, you know. And then they built a second house. So after the second house, we decided to start a nursery.
Okay.
We started a nursery with 10 pupils, and from nursery 1 to nursery 2, nursery 3, class 1, class 2, and right now, as we speak, we have over 700 pupils in that school from nursery to SSS3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a success.
I was fortunate, you know, some of my German friends supported us, you know. We already have about 5 buildings, in that, you know, and the school is recognized by the government. And we also have training centers in Bo, Makeni, Kenema.
Okay.
And very soon we have one in Tombo. We were supposed to have one in York, but unfortunately, the landowners kicked us out after we had started doing something. They said that land was private property, so they kicked us out. You know. So the campaign is moving throughout the country, it's nationwide, right? And as I said, it's not just to tell people to love one another, but also action, to do something. In fact, during the elections, we were nominated as election observers.
Okay.
We were election observers. And not only observers, but also, what do they call them? We were training, not training, we were talking to young people, the first-time voters,
Okay.
who had no idea about this PR system.
Okay, sensitize them.
So we're sensitizing them, yes. We're sensitizing them, all over the country, And so coming back to your question, I mean, how important is this campaign for the nation? With all of this, what I've just explained, I believe the campaign is very, very important for this nation. But we need more people on board.
Okay.
We need more people on board. And apart from these training centers, we also have young people. We also train young people. We call them love ambassadors. Love ambassadors. And we train them and send them out. But unfortunately, some of them, after the training, they thought, we will be providing jobs for them. We didn't have the funds, so some of them left. But this campaign is very, very important for this nation. And 27 years on, I believe it's still very active.
Yes, it is.
But this is one of the few organizations that has survived so long.
Yeah.
And it's still...
It's created a lot of impact across
It's still,
the country.
as a matter of fact, every day I wake up, it seems as if it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning. Because I always say it's a divine message, it's a divine assignment, and we pray and ask God to direct us, to give us new revelation. Like for instance, after about 8 years into the campaign, then God gave us this revelation that exploitation is a killer in this nation. People talk so much about corruption, right? Yes, corruption is rampant, but exploitation is the root. But unfortunately, a lot of people cannot differentiate between exploitation and corruption. I tell people that exploitation, in the case of corruption, most times two people make deals and both of them gain unjustly. They gain unjustly, right? But in exploitation, one gains and the other loses.
Is we bullied.
Yes, it's just like that.